This travel router from GL-INET called the Slate 7 provides dual band Wi-Fi 7 and has dual 2.5 gigabit Ethernet ports. It also has this interactive touchscreen with which you can control quite a good number of options even without logging into the admin UI. It's small and portable enough to carry with you to have your own private network. It has an OpenWRT pre-installed, and in terms of hardware configuration, it has Qualcomm quad-core processor at 1.1 GHz, a 1 GB DDR4 memory, 512 MB flash storage, 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi, dual 2.5 gigabit Ethernet ports, USB 3.0, and has a USB-C power delivery input of 5, 9 or 12 volts. As this is a travel router, in the box you get various adapters that you can make use of no matter where you are. On opening the plastic bag, this is how the router looks like. Now notably, you can see this touchscreen up front to interact with the router. In terms of physical connections, it has USB 3.0 port to connect your phone to use USB tethering or a mass storage device. Then we have these two 2.5 gigabit Ethernet ports which can be configured as a WAN or a LAN. Then we have USB-C port with power delivery input. Then on lifting up the two Wi-Fi antennas, on the side you have this reset button and a programmable mode switch that you can set up from the admin UI. After powering up the device with a PD charger, it shows this boot up logo, then this loading progress bar, and once it boots up for the first time, it asks you to connect via Wi-Fi using the QR code or connect using the LAN cable. So right now I have connected to the default Wi-Fi SSID of this router and I'm accessing the router's IP address. Now here I'm setting a new admin password for this router, and then I click on next, and then here is the default SSID. You can change this SSID for the 2.4 and 5 GHz frequencies. Now here there is this 160 MHz dynamic bandwidth option. Right now I'm not turning it on, but we will explore this a bit later. Let's click on next, and then with this the entire router is right now set up, and you can now connect this to the internet via the Ethernet cable or via repeating the existing Wi-Fi, or even using the mobile internet from your mobile using USB tethering. So right now I'm not going to connect these options for now. Let's look at what are the various things that we get to see. So this is like a dashboard kind of a thing wherein you can see all the inputs, all the various clients that have been connected, and you can also hover above these frequencies to see the QR code such that you can just scan the QR code and connect to the Wi-Fi. Now in terms of other options, you can change the Wi-Fi settings here. Then in the client section, you can check all the clients that are connected here. Then you have a few cloud services from GL-INET that you can make use of. And then we have this VPN dashboard here. So now in this VPN dashboard, you can see the VPN client as well as the VPN server overview. So you can actually start an OpenVPN server by just clicking on this button here, and this will set up an OpenVPN server for you. Similarly, you can go to a WireGuard server here and just click this button to set up a WireGuard server, and you can start the WireGuard server here. Now you can go to this OpenVPN clients and you can add right now a NordVPN, or you can add a manual configuration here by selecting the configuration of the OpenVPN, and with this you can have the client configuration uploaded and you can connect this router to an OpenVPN server. Similarly, you can do this for WireGuard. There are quite many VPN providers that are present here, like the Private Internet Access, Surfshark, and you can also add manually a configuration here. Now you can also connect to the Tor network by just enabling this option here. Now I will explain all these options in more detail in a separate video which I'm linking somewhere here as well as into the description below. Now in the application section, you have this dynamic DNS such that you can turn this option on, so that if you are running the VPN server on this router, then turning on this option will allow you to use this router over the internet. Then you have this network storage option wherein you can connect a mass storage device. Like for example, I have connected this 8 GB USB drive to the USB 3.0 port, and then you can share this drive using Samba services, or you can use WebDAV also. You can just set up the shared folders here and set up the users, and then using this router you can then just create a network access storage that can be accessed in the entire network from this router. So you can create a portable NAS using this option here. Then you have AdGuard Home to block ads and tracking cookies, and you can also monitor the various statistics inside here. Then you have this Tailscale option wherein you can bind this router to the Tailscale network, where I currently right now have all my devices connected to the Tailscale network and I access them privately over the internet using the Tailscale network. So you can even connect this router there. Then in the network section, you have this Multi-wan option wherein you have this various interfaces, like that is the Ethernet, then the repeater, tethering, and these are the various statuses that you can track here. As well as here you can set the failover priorities here. Right now Ethernet 1 is the highest priority while tethering has the lowest priority. Then if you go to port management here, you can define which ports you want them to be acting as LAN or WAN ports. So you can define the current WAN port as a LAN, or you can also define the current LAN port as the WAN port. Then you have various other capabilities, like you can enable IPv6, then you can enable IGMP snooping. You can also make this as a drop-in gateway by enabling this option. So this will allow all the traffic from your devices to go through this router first and then it exits from the network. Then you have these NAT settings that you can also enable. Now let's look at the other options that we have here, that is this toggle button settings. So in toggle buttons, so this custom button, we can program it such that we can turn on or turn off the AdGuard home, OpenVPN client, your Tor client, or the WireGuard client also. So through this option, we can configure this. Then if you go into the overview section, we get to see the entire CPU overview of this router, as well as we can configure the fan settings here, defining at what CPU temperatures the fans can turn on. As of now, they have not turned on while I have been using this device, so I'm guessing that it might not turn on ever. Now here you can also see the memory usage statistics, the flash storage that is there, how much is being used, as well as some device info and the external storage that is connected, and you can define the USB protocols here. Then apart from this, let's go to this advanced setting, and here you can access the default user interface of OpenWRT. So you just have to click here and you can access the OpenWRT interface, and you can use the same username and password that you had configured for this router. So now these are the various options that you get in this router. I have a detailed video which I'll link here as well as into the description below to show what are the detailed configurations that you can do. Next, I tested the Wi-Fi speed by connecting my Radza 5T, which has a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port, to the router via the 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port, and then connected my MacBook to the router via Wi-Fi. With this setup, I was able to get about 820 megabits per second when the bandwidth was 80 megahertz. As soon as I updated it to 160 megahertz, I was able to get about 1.3 gigabits per second speeds for uploads and downloads. Now in terms of power consumption, it consumes about 4 to 5 watts of energy while I was testing the speeds with the iProf 3 tool. In terms of the touchscreen capabilities, you can view the status of the input interfaces. Then on swiping right, you get to see the router performance statistics. Then you can even connect or disconnect the Tor network. You can also connect or disconnect the WireGuard client or the OpenVPN client. And you can also turn on or turn off the individual Wi-Fi SSIDs directly from the touchscreen. Now this device costs about $150, and with the Wi-Fi 7 capabilities, 2.5 gigabit Ethernet ports, the touchscreen to interact with the device, USB 3 for setting up a portable NAS, and with the PD input such that you can power it with a power bank, I guess it's a fair price for the device. Now I have a detailed walkthrough video for this device in the description below. Now this device is going to be on my 10-inch rack, which I'm currently building, and the video will be out soon about my DIY rack. So make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as hit that like button for more such videos to come. You can support this channel via Patreon or by just buying me a coffee. Till then, take care and I will see you in my next one.